So Nick Pope says there are powerful forces behind the U.S. release of UFO footage, and of course more videos may be revealed. Alright, let's get into it. Before I do, please hit like, please subscribe, and as I'm talking about it, please comment below and let me know what you think. Alright, the U.S. has hit a hidden agenda in its sudden push for disclosure on UFOs as the 180-day deadline for a government report on the subject looms, a world-leading investigator has claimed. Nick Pope, a former UFO investigator for the UK's Ministry of Defence, told The Sun Online the world may never know why the Pentagon has done a U-turn after decades of denial on unidentified phenomena. U.S. intelligence services officially closed the book on the controversial issue in 1969 at the conclusion of Project Blue Book, which stated there was nothing to see regarding UFOs. However, in the last 3 years, there has been an abrupt turnaround as the Pentagon took the unprecedented steps of releasing 3 stunning UFO videos filmed by the U.S. Navy. And of course, there have been several since then. And it has also confirmed the existence of its secretive UFO investigation unit before the Senate then commissioned a report on the issue from U.S. intelligence, which is due for release next month. Although some people, including Lou Elizondo, are skeptical if it really is going to come out next month. And if it does, is it going to be a good report, a substantial report, or is it just going to be a bunch of nonsense? The Director of National Intelligence's office, the highest intelligence body in the U.S., was given 180 days to compile the dossier with the deadline expiring in June. British defense officials continue to deny everything about any existence of investigations into the UFO issue or that they are sitting on any unreleased files. So why are the Americans suddenly opening up this highly controversial and historically stigmatizing topic? Mr. Pope, who worked to investigate UFOs for the MOD in the 90s and worked in Whitehall in 2004, told The Sun Online he believes hidden forces are at work behind closed doors. He said that is the $64,000 question. For years, the U.S. government had been like the UK is now on the issue, very defensive with a policy usually of denial, debunking and commenting as little as possible. And now in the last 3.5 years, that policy has been flipped 180 degrees. Every time the story is dying down, it's almost as if the U.S. government itself is throwing gasoline on the fire and stoking the story up. With the deadline fast approaching, Mr. Pope hopes the task force report will reveal new information and potentially further footage and images of UAPs. It comes as another round of footage was revealed which shows a UFO buzzing the U.S. Navy ship USS Omaha in July 2019 as personnel tracked it with a targeting camera. Really cool video. That's not it. Mr. Pope explained that if you went to the Pentagon as a journalist with any queries on UFOs between 1969 and 2017, you would have been told there was no official interest and no investigations. BS, right? Yet something mysterious has changed behind the scenes which has seen this astonishing U-turn, and now the question is, what? Beyond a shadow of a doubt, there is a sort of hidden strategic agenda here that Congress, the media, and the public do not yet understand and may never understand. Nick Pope told The Sun Online, something is playing out right now. Powerful forces are at work behind the scenes, pulling the strings on this. He added, you can understand what is happening. U.S. Navy videos, guidance to pilots, classified briefings to Congress, but the why? Nobody knows. There is a lot of speculation. Some people think it's factional, with a believer faction coming to the fore, or it could be events-led. There could be something about the phenomena which is just going to be undeniable very shortly, and this is the U.S. government trying to get out ahead of the story and drive the narrative. The Sun Online previously spoke to Lou Elizondo, who headed up the Secretive Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, for the Pentagon. He said the U.S. tried to ignore it before and it blew up in their face as information started to become available and was leaked. The DoD had egg on their face. They realized lying about a topic isn't the best solution, probably better to own it. Despite the disclosure beginning to open up, however, Mr. Elizondo explained there remains hesitation by some to report their sightings due to historic stigma. Things come to mind, and I hate to say it, about tinfoil hats and Elvis being on the mothership. But if you remove that stigma and stick to the facts, it's a very compelling global issue. Mr. Elizondo said he is aware of people being deemed crazy or unbalanced for reporting on UAPs, with government officials having their security clearances revoked or pilots being grounded. Senator Marco Rubio, who pushed for the establishment of the UAP task force, said this week he wants to make sure UFOs are not a threat to the U.S. and urged the public not to laugh them off. He said, "I want us to take it seriously and have a process to take it seriously. I want us to have a process to analyze the data every time it comes in. That there be a place where this is cataloged and constantly analyzed until we get some answers." The USS Omaha images and footage were published by investigative filmmaker Jeremy Corbell on Mystery Wire, and the incident took place on July 15, 2019. And of course, that's a really cool incident where there were swarms, supposedly, of large pyramid-shaped UFOs over these U.S. warships. So, a fascinating case that we have video and witness testimony for. Just one of several that have come out recently. And Jeremy Corbell has hinted that there are more videos soon to come very shortly. And he says that he knows because he's going to be the one putting them out. Just like he put out the pyramid video. So I can't wait to see what he has in store for us. And, he seems to be allied with this pro-disclosure faction, and that's why he's being fed this information. At least that's my summation. So he is part of this pro-disclosure movement. I don't know if he is part of any organized movement. That seems to be what Nick Pope is hinting at, that there is some sort of organized movement that is driving a process of disclosure. Now, it has been theorized ever since TTSA came out, and since Lou left the government and joined TTSA along with Chris Mellon, that there was an organized process of disclosure. And if I had to make a guess, it would probably be organized by Jim Semivan, as much as anybody. He would have as much of a hand in this as anybody. So, and probably more than most. So there's in my opinion, there's a high likelihood that TTSA did have a goal and does have a goal, an agenda, and a plan. People had theorized about a 7-year plan. And to me, that sounds, more or less accurate. Now, is the plan up in turmoil now that Lou and Chris and Steve Justice have left TTSA? Or are things proceeding as originally planned? I think that's a very important question. I think Nick Pope is totally right that there was a plan for some process of disclosure, some loose, semi-organized process, would be my guess. Jim Semivan nailed some points they wanted to achieve, and Lou and Chris set out to achieve them, and they have their own ideas about how to do that. And Chris has a lot of influence, Chris Mellon, and know-how, not just influence, but know-how, organizing these meetings. And there are other people behind the scenes that are yet unnamed. We don't even know who Lou's successor is in ATIP, or who he inherited the program from. All of that is totally under wraps. I would love to know. So anyway, so that seems to be my take on what Nick Pope says, is that there is a process of disclosure underway. It's a little loose, a little rough around the edges. There are people still in the government pushing for it, people on the outside that are pushing for it, and they are allied with each other in this loose, shifting, but growing stronger group. And I'll have more to say about how it's growing stronger and what the forces behind that are. Some of it have to do with Lou Elizondo's latest push, trying to clean up the Pentagon and do away with resistance. All right, more on that later. Let me know what you think about all this. Is Nick Pope right? Is there an organized process underway? What exactly are we seeing play out here? What do you think could be going on? Anyway, this is Mystery Road signing off. Please hit like, please subscribe, and of course comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. Until next time, talk to you later.